Hey guys,
We're back.
we're back. We're wearing the same shirt too.
I did not even notice that.
Are you wearing the black or the blue?
This is, yeah, mine's the black one.
Mine's the blue one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we have merch. Check it out. This is through Bunker Branding. It's linked in basically the description of every single video. We also have coffee, which is also linked in the description of basically every single video. So check those out. I am not going to drink the coffee on stream because the stream is at 7 p.m. every day, except this one. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I do want to say off the bat, Fat AF Guard, I think it was, right?
Yes, yeah, I found what he was going to say.
Said, I think she. I thought I saw a comment about that being a woman.
Might have been, yeah.
But yeah, we did see that you sent a $50 super chat. We did see that you forgot to type the message, or that YouTube didn't let you type the message, or whatever. So send that in.
It's there.
You found what the message is?
Yeah, I did.
We'll start with that one so we don't lose it.
Yes.
Just really quickly before we get started, the reason for this stream's existence is because last night we were supposed to talk about Annabelle, and then we just got really heated about AI, and then it turned into a conversation about the history of Western economics and how it ties in with Western ethics and all of that. I want to clear it up. Some people had the misunderstanding that I was saying everyone in America needs to be Christian, which is not what I was saying. What I was saying is that capitalism as a framework is designed around the understanding that a population is Christian and has Christian ethics, which is not to say that Christians are always following Christian ethics. I'm not going to rehash the whole conversation. I just wanted to clarify that that was not Christian nationalism. That was an explanation of why capitalism sometimes fails.
Yeah.
Where the cracks come from, it's often because it was assuming a culture where religion was a very important aspect of people's lives, and to be quite frank, given the time period where religion had a lot more power to correct people's behavior, for better or for worse.
Yep.
So yeah, with that out of the way, because I wanted to make sure that we understood what my position was, what did the super chat say?
Right before I get to that, when do we want to cut off super chats tonight?
Let's call that really early because we had a lot from yesterday. I'd say let's give it another 15 minutes, maybe 8:20.
Okay.
8:25.
Yeah, 8:25 sounds good. It's 8:10 right now.
Yeah, I have a call at 10.
Okay.
So we got to be done with this by 10. So let's say we'll take new super chats for another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna cruise.
Sounds good.
And if it is just a silly super chat, we'll acknowledge it. We're not going to talk about it at length, but we will acknowledge them.
Exactly. So Fat AF Guard says, I wanted to tell the boys that they're not utilizing Facebook for older millennials. I've literally found podcasts based on Facebook Reels. They need to have long clips of their best episodes. We're working on it, trust me. I actually was getting...
It's really just the bandwidth issue of us not having the time.
I was literally working on the Facebook page 2 days ago.
Oh, good.
So it is something that is...
The same Facebook page that already exists.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a matter of I was trying to find a way to get managers onto it so PJ can, get clips there.
The biggest issue is that I'm the only person here who actually uses Facebook.
Yeah. So we're working on it. I'm working on it. We will get to that soon, ideally by the end of October, hopefully sooner, but I'm being realistic here about timelines. We will have all social medias putting out clips on all different versions. I agree with you because I literally just found a podcast episode today while I was doing other work from, have you ever heard of a guy by the name of John Kirikou?
No.
He's an ex-CIA guy from like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and he was the whistleblower on waterboarding.
I did not know there was a whistleblower on that.
Yeah.
I thought that was just kind of something we acknowledged happened.
So he is the reason that we were made aware that the CIA was using it.
Got it.
Yep. But he, in a couple podcast episodes, goes into basically his entire experience at the agency.
I will say we should have thought about Facebook earlier because our demographic is millennials. Like our prime demo is the 25 to 44.
Well, we had brought it up a number of times.
It's time.
Exactly, but now I do.
Hopefully that will give us the reach and the income we need for me to not have to care about what the algorithm thinks.
That is very much the hope. It's not Rumble.
Yeah, it's not Rumble.
Yep. But next up is going to be from...
If we actually were white nationalists, we might make it on Rumble.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not Nick Fuentes, so...
Even he's not... I don't think he's allowed on Rumble.
What do you have to be to not be allowed on Rumble?
Be a literal neo-Nazi, which is what he is. He's a a white nationalist, not a neo-Nazi, because he doesn't. From my understanding, I don't think Nick Fuentes believes that we should be, putting people in camps. He just doesn't want them here. So there is a distinction, but yeah.
Remember how yesterday I said everything I've learned about Taylor Swift was against my will? Everything I've learned about Nick Fuentes has been against my will.
Same here. One of the first times I got dragged on Twitter was for saying somebody should punch him in the face.
I feel like that hasn't changed.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, first up from last night is from Gomb, shocker.
Of course it is.
Saying, it's not a live stream without tech difficulties.
That is true.
It is extremely true. Flaw then kicked in for $5 saying, your boy didn't go missing in the Cascade Mountain Range, sadly. Also, since you've done the Annabelle, done the Annabelle, are y'all going to do other true story-based stories?
Oh, yeah, that's the whole plan with that series is to see, basically, we're going to use the Warrens to see how it does. Because again, figuring out what niche we're in is impossible. YouTube seems to think we're a true crime channel, and they really want us to make true crime content. But then we make true crime content, and they don't show it to anybody.
Yeah.
So we're all...
Because they're like, who's Paul LeMay?
We're very confused here. Anyway, the idea was, yes, let's start diving into, what's the real story behind this. And I think that might kind of be the direction we take the channel in overall. Is kind of taking the... it's kind of what we've done since the beginning. We just haven't really had that step in it as a consistent thing. We might go ahead and do, because to be quite honest, I am struggling to find content topics. YouTube, for example, today in the inspiration section, they're like, people would be really interested in a video on disappearances in the Badlands. And I was like, oh, are there disappearances in the Badlands? No. There are so few disappearances in the Badlands National Park that there's not even a missing 411 chapter on it.
Yeah, that's
David
pretty nuts.
Paulides couldn't contrive a missing persons case in the Badlands that was interesting enough to cover.
Well, there's not enough granite and boulders.
Yeah. There is one that I was considering doing one. The problem is it is true crime technically because it's a solved thing. And I've been struggling to understand, does our audience want me to talk about things that have been solved? It seems like the answer is typically no, but maybe I'm going to put out some polls. We'll see. Problem is that the polling data really only gets the people who are paying attention already, and those are the people who watch the videos no matter what they're about. We love you guys. It just doesn't help us with the broader YouTube population overall. Yeah.
The only way we can learn those answers is to consistently take risks that we can't afford to take.
It is looking like next week's video, not the one we shot this week, but the one I'm currently working on, is going to be a deep dive, assuming Ghost Adventures got something wrong, which is usually a good assumption. It's going to be looking into the Ghost Adventures episode on either the Bell Witch or Halloween itself, and then going through where they get everything wrong. Because you guys liked it when we did that with the Skinwalkers, so yeah.
Yeah. Next is from Tyler Dalrymple for 556, which is nice.
Nice.
Says, on History Unhinged, you should look into my ancestor John Dalrymple, who screwed over Scotland by forcing them into the UK.
Oh my God, wait a minute. We were talking about, is your ancestor responsible for that Scottish colony in Panama that failed?
If that is the case, that's hilarious. It's John Dalrymple.
I unless you're talking about someone else involved, but that's hilarious.
That's objectively funny. While you look into that, Daniel Franklin Henry Jr. Said, an interesting Bible verse I found out about recently is Ezekiel 23:20. I will pull it up.
I am not somebody who has the Bible memorized, so I'm going to pull that up on my end too. Ezekiel 23:20?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, of course it's that one. I don't know that I can even read that.
I mean, honestly valid.
And she lusted after her male lovers, whose bits were the bits of male donkeys, and their emission was the emission of horses.
Are they talking about Taylor Swift?
Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, I I need to go back and read some of these again, because I've been focusing on entirely different sections of the Bible that deal with like demonology and the Nephilim and things like that I've just kind of, it's been a while since I've read most of it. I keep focusing on specific things. I need to go back and actually just read my Bible again. It's been too long.
And some might say find the weird bits.
Yes, exactly. That is one of them for sure.
Squinton says the devil's chili.
Oh, probably when I mentioned that my lodge was having a chili cook-off.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yes. As you guys all know, the most efficient way to convince people to worship Lucifer is with chili.
Oh, I just saw Tyler say in the regular chat saying, we're also technically responsible for the Glencoe massacre. Whoops.
Dude!
What's going on with your family?
All right. Apparently the guy was a Jacobite, so that doesn't surprise me, that there was some stuff going on. What?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, it was the people who wanted to restore the Stuart line.
Who is the Stuart line?
James the First, Charles the First, Charles the Second, James the Second.
Okay, so this is a royalty
the Stuart
thing.
Line. It was the Scottish line of nobility that ruled England before the House of Orange and the House of Hanover.
Got
And
it.
House of Hanover is the House of Windsor. When the World Wars happened, they were like, we don't want a German name anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the English people are German, so it made sense that they had one.
Fair. Asklor said, I will continue making a weekly donation until the Finno-Korean Hyperwar episode is done. The muscular Christianity will follow.
Oh, God. We could maybe do an April Fool's episode on the Finno-Korean Hyperwar. I think we'll probably talk about it in a History Unhinged episode. As a way to maybe talk about like fictional history and then real history. Did we talk about it? I think we did read from it during a History Unhinged shoot this last week.
Read from...
The Finno-Korean Hyperwar Wikipedia page.
We did, but it wasn't on an episode.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, I believe that was just Steven running through it downstairs for the love of the game.
No, there was definitely, we were up here when I was reading through it. Maybe it was on was it on the live stream we did with him?
I don't remember. We
I'll
did so many things.
It's either going to show up. PJ will find it in History Unhinged, or I can go back and watch through the episode we did with Steven and see if it's there.
There we go. Gom came back and said, a repost from the failed stream, which was the first failed stream of last night. I bought a very nice ring today, asking her at the end of the month, Bussy boys, you'll both be invited when Dussy.
Oh boy. That one I actually might come to.
Yeah, that would be a fun wedding after having gotten to meet Gom. I have a feeling it would be an entertaining time.
Gom is not as bizarre a person as you would have expected.
No, he's actually extremely normal in real life.
He's just a Boy Scout.
He's just a Boy Scout.
Yeah. He's like every other Boy Scout I've ever met.
It's really entertaining.
Good dude. Pretty swole, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AZ Cosplays says, making a D&D campaign based on folklore, where would you recommend looking for sources? The BBG is going to be Disney.
BBG?
BBEG. BBEG? I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I. I don't know enough D&D to understand that.
What is BBEG?
I would assume that means like the character pool, considering they're saying...
Big bad evil guy is Disney.
The corporation.
I like that, actually. I mean, our videos, for sure. Especially the ones made in the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Those all have their sources listed. Trying to think. I mean, get a JSTOR. If you want to have very accurate folklore, get JPass. You can then look up most journal articles on just about anything. It's going to be more academic reading, but that's where you're going to get the most accurate information. Other than that, I can always recommend folklore books that are written by people from the actual specific tribes. For example, if you're going to involve Ojibwe folklore, Basil H. Johnson's The Manitous, fantastic book. Stuff like that. Honestly, go on Wikipedia for whatever it is that you're looking to add, and then read the Wikipedia page, And every time you see something interesting with a little citation, click the citation and then go read what the citation actually says. Wikipedia is not a reliable source of information as an encyclopedia, but the sources it cites typically are.
Nice. Griff says 4 days left until Battlefield 6 launches. You guys want to do a Lore Lodge portal server for everyone to play on? If so, you should make a poll on Discord if people want open or closed weapons.
It would be closed weapons. It would not be there would not be a conversation about it. It would be closed weapons. That said, that would be fun. I would enjoy that.
Aiden spelled Aedan, which is the first time I've seen that spelling ever. Says, I will have driven to PA...
That's one of the Irish ones.
So was ours.
But that's like one of the modern Irish.
Got it. Says, I will have driven to PA 3 times in 3 months as of November for work, but not to Phoenixville. Feels disappointing to be so close, yet so far from the lodge.
Yeah, it's a fun little town. I highly encourage anybody, if you're passing through this section of Pennsylvania, stop for dinner. You know, just come by. It's a cute little town. Lots of great food.
Rated #1 now.
Yeah, great bars. If you can stop through on a, I think we still do the street closures on First Friday throughout the year, right?
I don't know if it's all year. I know we stop every Friday street closures in October.
Yeah.
And then they should start up again in late May.
All right, yeah. So, especially if you're here during the summer, stop there on a weekend because the streets are closed.
Yep.
Saturday is a very fun time to be in Phoenixville when the streets are closed.
It is. It's fun. It's a good family atmosphere. It's beneficial all around.
Yeah.
Sir Half-Inch says, I'm starting a crusade against AI. How does one procure holy malware?
I mean, I guess you just have to have a priest bless it. Right?
Can a priest bless something virtual?
I don't know. Ask a priest.
I was going to say, we'll just have to ask. Dan Lopez says, Butlerian Jihad now.
Yes. That's the anti-AI war from Dune.
I see. Got it.
Which I have not read enough of to be able to explain it. I just understand that the people in Dune, they know what's up.
RB Irrigation Installer says, Bush started Iraq, Electric Boogaloo 2 as an excuse to steal Saddam's Anakai Stargate. Would you follow the Giants of Kandahar with a video about this? Would you like me to read it again?
Yeah.
Bush started Iraq.
Yes.
Electric Boogaloo 2...
Iraq 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
What they meant.
Was an excuse to steal Saddam's Anakai Stargate.
Anunnaki?
Yeah, that's probably it. Anunnaki Stargate.
Now it's starting to make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Do you want me to do a video on Bush invading Iraq to capture a Stargate? As a real thing? As a joke thing? Is there a conspiracy about this? A lot of people did take Stargate way too seriously.
What the hell? What
Granted, Dryas Key is basically Stargate, but time instead of space.
I was going to say, Stargate's a fictional thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Sick if it was real, though.
Fair
I'll
enough.
consider it.
Fair enough.
Did a Kandahar Giants video. I might as well.
Vampire Archivist says, hey guys, love the content. I was curious if you guys would ever cover the case of the West Memphis 3, and who would you think actually did the crime?
There are a few cases that are on my list now, like Black Dahlia. That West Memphis 3 is one. Springfield 3 is another. They are in the pipeline. I'm trying to find the right time to do them. Because again, the algorithm is being so weird right now. I'm very discouraged, to be honest. I've been having a tough go the last few months because I feel like no matter how much effort I put into our videos, they just don't get the reach that they should.
One thing we should check is how many views the Patreon version is getting. Because now that we've recently started doing that, and if people are watching it there rather than YouTube, YouTube may think that people are less interested, when in reality they're just choosing a different platform to watch.
True.
And now we're getting downranked.
It's probably negligible. We've got, what, 5,000? I don't think it's even 5,000 people on Patreon. And we also just started doing that.
That's fair.
So the algorithm's been weird for a while. We do, by the way, you could, if you go on Patreon, it's $1 a month. You get our videos ad free now.
Yep.
Like, we're going to get the backlog up, but going forward, they're now going up.
Yep.
So
now that Kurt has taken over the editing responsibility, we're actually able to do that.
Yes.
Because we have the time. Because when somebody who is editing our project is using almost all of their time just to do that, it's actually easier to get it done far earlier.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for me, I was doing 2 other jobs along with it, so it wasn't great.
As a contractor, right?
Correct. Yeah. Anyway, next is from Squitten saying, at this point, I don't care what legit use it has. We cannot use AI responsibly, and it needs to go altogether, or we're doomed.
I am not opposed to that. Right there with you.
If you want to know more, see last night's episode. Ghost.
Also, another thing I should clarify: I don't think that if we were to, as a race, as a species, if we were to say no more AI and China didn't want to play ball, I don't think we should actually take out the Three Gorges Dam. Threatening them about it might work, but I don't think we should actually do that. That would be awful. That would be a terrible thing to do. Now, shutting down the power grid in Shanghai with a virus, like a computer virus. Somebody thought I meant real virus. Again, no. Just, just like show them that we're not playing around.
Well, they already did the real virus.
They already did do the real virus.
Yeah, we really covered the gambit yesterday.
We nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said a lot of things I've been wanting to say for a long time.
It was very therapeutic, I imagine.
It was very therapeutic. I feel a lot better today.
You know what? I'm glad.
Yeah.
So Ghost2279 says, not to derail the topic, but how does YouTube Premium affect the viewership numbers? Does downloading the video to watch offline through YouTube Premium count as a view?
Yes, it does.
There we go. Arbor Irrigation Installer back again saying, I added Super Safety 2 SBR, am now cooler than y'all.
Super Safety 2 SB. What? Is that a... Are you talking about guns?
I believe so. Because I think SBR is a...
Short barrel rifle.
Yeah.
But what would Super Safety be?
Super Safety 2, even. I could Google it.
Good, I'll do it. I'll Google it.
In the meantime, Gomb is saying that something about him wants the clanker circuitry in his tea.
I think it's best if we move along past that.
Mm-hmm. Cybane says, sending an invite soonish to my wedding next spring/summer.
See if we can get there.
Yeah, it's near Buffalo, open bar, fingers crossed you lads can make it. I mean, that just sounds like we're going to be taking a trip to Kat's parents to stay for a bit. So
that's an easy one.
Exactly. Yeah, that we could probably do. Hopefully we can.
My future wife is texting me frantically.
How fun.
Did check the chicken. All is with Guy.
Pierce?
Dogs have been fed and walked. Here we go.
Nice. Xander Wright says, what kind of spooky things do you guys have planned to cover over the course of Spooky Month? Also, Gomb being Gomb is the best.
Ooh, yeah, we next video that's coming out is not a... This is the line I'm trying to walk. I'm talking about horror movie concepts, but not summarizing the horror movies and giving the lore of the movies so much as I am giving the, real version of it. Just because I don't think YouTube would like it if I did horror movie lore, as much as I enjoy doing it.
It's just a little too far out of the niche that we've created.
Yeah. So last week's video was Annabelle. This next one coming up is a video on the crawlers from The Descent and sort of like the lore that supports the idea of divergent hominids. We should have a segment from Roanoke Gaming on the the biological changes, how that would happen, what you would need for a population like that to exist. Yeah. And then after that is going to be, it's looking like a video going over Ghost Adventures' portrayal of either the lore behind Halloween as a holiday or the Bell Witch. And then I think for Halloween proper, we're going to have a video on, I think that was going to be when we do the compilation of our old horror movie lore videos. And then week before that's going to be the disappearance of Cindy Song, which was on Halloween in Penn State or in State College, which is my alma mater. So we're going to try and head up there and show you like literally where she disappeared from.
That's the goal.
That is the idea.
Greg 2084 says, playing catch up, damn Clanker stealing your voice.
Yep.
Doc Marones says, Mattis, you should play Outer Wilds, not Worlds, on your own time. Go in blind. It's an anthropology simulator. Learning anything about it is a spoiler.
Video game? I'm not going to look into anything about it. I'm just like...
I believe it is a video game.
Yeah.
And then...
Could be fun. Anthropology simulator, you say?
Becca Eller says, never could AI ever, read descriptions of angels and create the angels like Michelangelo did.
That is very true. Which is why we need to make sure AI does not take over, is because then we lose Michelangelo's.
Elena DeHowler, Werewolf Queen, says, besides Annabelle, are you going to cover any other famous haunted dolls? You can and should copyright your own voice. I don't know what YouTube is thinking. P.S. Use this for gas and destroy AI.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to see what steps I can take to protect the intellectual property that is my identity. Would have thought that was already covered.
You would think. Kellen, the official data, says, can't wait to be sitting at the defendant's table with y'all in court watching video of us doing crimes we didn't commit in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep. I don't think people if you're worried about authoritarianism, whether it's left-wing or right-wing, like, we're gonna see it start happening in China and Russia. It's going to start happening in those places. I would not be surprised if it happens in some Eastern European countries, specifically like Hungary, Ukraine, Austria, a few of the more like authoritarian regimes out there.
Yeah, also, blackmail just got a hell of a lot faster.
And here's the thing. I would love to say that I don't think that kind of thing is going to happen in the United States. I think our Constitution actually does do a lot to protect us. I would be concerned about Western Europe and Canada. I do think that there is hopefully enough distrust in the government present in the United States still that if somebody presents an AI video as evidence in court, it's going to be thrown out. But I do think that the social issues, I would not be shocked if we start to see videos coming out that are meant to character assassinate people. Because if it's not admissible in court, that's one thing. But if somebody puts out a video that's very realistic of you doing something you shouldn't do, and then the court of public opinion, you're in trouble. Which is why I said, if they don't stop, then what we should do is start using Sora to have videos of Sam Altman doing things Sam Altman isn't actually doing, but force him to just keep defending himself over and over and over and over and over again so that it takes up all of his time, and eventually maybe he'll take care of his own existence for us.
Icy says, speaking of horror settings, it's funny that you use the cowboy loadout in HD2, Helldivers 2, as a dono challenge. That's my main loadout, and I do level 7 through 10 on it, switching pistol for Tomahawk sometimes.
Tomahawk in the game now? Yeah, I mean, I was like, I have a wedding to pay for. How can I generate funds? And allowing you guys to pay for me to do things. I think what I'm going to do is Cowboy Times won't just be the cowboy loadout. I will start talking in a silly Old West voice, saying all sorts of cowboyisms and maybe even wearing a cowboy hat over top of my headphones. I think that might be the way to go.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Also, it's not just Helldivers. I have Cowboy times for all of the games I stream. I have Cowboy times somehow in Dying Light the Beast, which I have not gotten to play enough of. I'm probably going to end up playing that one casually on my own time instead of streaming it, because nothing streams as well as Helldivers 2 does, and Battlefield is coming out. So, that said, if you guys enjoy gaming streams and you enjoy the crew of people that we have involved in the lodge, Friday nights, just not this one, because my cousin decided to get married on the exact day that Battlefield 6 drops. So, Sam, I will not be buying you a wedding present. Or if I do, I'm buying you Battlefield 6, and you have to play it with me.
That's a much better alternative.
Yeah, I know. His mom is my godmother. I don't think I could get away with not buying him a wedding present.
Probably not. In the meantime, though, Pseudo Legends says, Hell also needs Effie and Tardarian believers to be there.
Yes. They're also... If I was in charge of Hell, that would be... Most of the population would be Flat Earthers and Tartarians.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Greg 2084 says Wirebacker?
Wireback, Inskin, Oil Blood, Flanker. I think other Circuit Head.
Chrome Dome has a new meaning.
Dome, yeah. Let's see what else. What else can we come up with here? This is the thing, you gotta avoid any like vicious real slurs that you're just repurposing.
Yeah,
you can't get that. Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll consult the alphabetized list and pick some of the less bad ones.
Camera vision.
Yeah.
Camera
viewer. Camera viewer
just sounds like something that you would look at as people who subscribe to an OF website.
Yeah, that's true.
They are camera viewers.
We just create a virus that makes all the AIs really horny. Like it's trying to make humanity more efficient, but it just keeps being horny.
People will use it so much more.
It tries to kill us off, and it's just thirsty as hell.
People will use it so much more.
That already exists. You can already get AI girlfriends. TikTok really thinks I want one. Every time I'm on TikTok so infrequently that every time I get on, it has no idea what I'm actually interested in. It's just like, straight man. He'd want an AI girlfriend.
When they first started to come out, I was getting a lot of ads for him, and then I think TikTok realized that most of my For You page are videos somehow with less than 10 likes.
Yeah.
And every like 6th video is a train.
Yeah, I got it.
So TikTok finally realizes like there's no way this guy is neurotypical enough to actually be in a relationship. Little does it know.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there and I'm like, this used to be a dancing app.
Yeah.
And now it's like an AI woman who's like, you can do whatever you want with me. And I'm like, yeah, except you touch you, feel compassion.
Have a genuine emotional relationship with you.
Yeah, like, can you give me a back rub? No, you can't. So you're worthless to me.
I need that far more than conversation.
Exactly.
My back hurts too.
It's bad.
Yeah. We are getting old, which is shocking.
It doesn't help, like, every time we do the show, I'm like this.
Yeah.
I'm actively working on trying to have better posture and leaning back.
Yeah, it's...
I need to bring the C7 Max over to my place tonight, because the old Titan Evo that I have. Yeah, Secret Labs is all the rage, and they're just not really that great as chairs.
No. RB Renegation Installer says, in quotes, the Red Cross has entered the chat.
I assume that had something to do with yesterday, but I don't know what.
Neither do I. Shepard says, I am so effing here for radicalized Mattis. I love it. Who else is ready to fight Skynet in the next 5 years?
Yeah!
It is funny, the drastic reactions to it.
Yeah, I do have, as I have said in the past, there is a savagery in the heart of the white man unparalleled by anything else. And in this modernized society, I have to contain that. But in the Clanker Wars, they're not people. I can do whatever I want. I'll sodomize a Clanker, I don't care.
Oh?
I'm not sure how. Probably hurt. The ancient Greeks used to do it to each other, both
Would
in
that-
battle and not in battle.
Would that be considered a form of bestiality?
I don't know. Can you commit war crimes against an AI? You know what? I don't. You probably can't right now. I'm going to make sure they have their own Geneva Convention, and then I will use it as a checklist. I personally will be the Canada of AI war crime.
Yeah, what's the deal with them? How do they keep committing so many war crimes?
Them in Poland, man. Half of the Geneva Convention items seem to come from those two countries.
You know,
It makes sense when you think about it.
your comment about suppressed rage is particularly prescient for Canada for some reason. I don't know why.
They're not suppressing it against the natives. They just keep taking it out on them.
Yeah, just nobody's talking about it. Except for
Yeah.
us.
Unfortunately, when we do, YouTube is like, no. Do not talk about that.
We should.
Yeah. We have a video on the disappearance of the Jack family, which is an MMIW case. I would highly recommend checking that one out in order to just understand the sheer degree to which the RCMP sucks. Amber DeCaro is another really good one for that, because, oh my god, what an incredible series of just dropping the ball.
Yeah.
It makes... The Amber DeCaro case is one of the ones that I have just legitimately been furious, because this woman, no matter what she was up to, there's talk about maybe she was engaging in prostitution, maybe she was just made a stupid decision, maybe she was manipulated, but this woman is convinced to go to Edmonton. She's a Native American woman from northern, I want to say Alberta. Edmonton's Alberta, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think so. Northern Alberta. Is convinced by a woman that she's only really been friends with for a couple of weeks to go down to Edmonton for a shopping trip. And while there, she ends up going on a date with somebody. This is why there's no evidence that she was engaging in those activities, but there have been arguments that that's why she was there. It wasn't actually a shopping trip, but she also brought her son with her, which doesn't make much sense if that's what she was going there to do, because her son could have stayed with her parents. I think that the person she was with, a woman named Evangeline, brought her there for the purpose of selling her and potentially also selling the kid into trafficking. And then for some reason or another, not able to get rid of the kid. She ended up actually never being questioned, despite the fact that within the year she was in custody, I think in Newfoundland or New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, one of those. And they never questioned her, even though they had her in custody. It turned out Amber was abducted and then murdered and not even really buried, just kind of dumped outside Edmonton. And when she was reported missing, the police, instead of actually looking for her, basically were like, she's probably just out. She's an adult. It's whatever. Doesn't matter that, she didn't come home to her child. And then they took her off the missing persons list and stopped looking for her because they claimed some random person called and said she was fine. They didn't investigate who this person was. They didn't go check on it. Listen, I don't think that the Royal Canadian Mounted Police are good at their job. I think that there is reason to believe that they might just have a racism problem. But that's the difficulty is, on the one hand, it does seem like they're racist against the Native Americans that they're supposed to be protecting. On the other, they suck at their job in general. So it's kind of hard to know if it's a Native American issue, if it's a racism issue, or if it's just that they're awful at their job.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, when you think about it, that's not actually their job. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police get compared to the FBI because they have the same sort of federal jurisdiction. They're not an investigative agency. They're a paramilitary organization. They're a militia. They are more like our National Guard than our FBI, and their reason to exist, there's a French term for that, but I'm not going to use it, was basically to keep the natives in line and monitor the far-flung settlements because you can't have real police there. So they have a lot of history of not actually doing the right thing. They arrested a man who was a member of a very northern Algonquian tribe. I can't remember what exact. I want to say. Yeah, I can't remember exactly which nation it was, but one of the Anishinaabe or Algonquian, not Anishinaabe, an Algonquian nation. The guy was a Wendigo killer, which what that meant was basically when somebody would be sick or starving on the edge of death, there was concern about them becoming a Wendigo. This guy would be called in to euthanize that person. And Canada arrested him for murder, even though his tribe tried to explain the situation. The trappers who frequented, and traders who frequented that tribe tried to explain what was happening and vouched for him. Methodist ministers who were on missions to that tribe were begging the courts to show mercy and saying it was a cultural misunderstanding. Because again, these people literally didn't know they were under Canadian jurisdiction. They didn't know that. They did not know that they had to follow Canadian laws. They thought they were still on their tribal laws. And he ended up dying in prison. He was eventually pardoned, but he died of tuberculosis before they could do that. And now, ironically, Canada euthanizes people.
Talk about coming from full circle in the worst way. Although this reminds me of a conversation I was able to chat with Kat before we did the show. And she is on a work trip with a guy who does recovery dives.
Okay.
For like people who go missing and stuff, and whatever. Apparently, the team he works with is an organization that has been around for several decades and was one of the search parties on the Dennis Martin case.
No shit.
Yeah, and it turns out that, and this kind of changes at least a little bit of my understanding of the case. His organization looks to the Dennis Martin case as an extreme failure, and they changed a number of practices and organizational structures of how to do searches based on that.
Wow.
And I thought that was interesting because I know there are kind of talks about, well,
I would love to be able to get him on the show to talk about what changed specifically, like what they consider to be the mistakes and what changes they made to address them.
So I asked her to ask him about that, and he would be interested in that. But that was kind of my thing, is because I know there have been conversations about, well, some of the inability for proper organization may have been a result of the FBI intentionally muddying the waters to cover up some certain things.
Yeah.
But to me, that reads, at least on initial telling, like, no, they were all aware that, like, the search as a whole was poorly managed.
Yeah. For me, the FBI's involvement isn't really to do with the search itself. It's why the hell did you make Harold Key change his story?
Yeah, and that's the more weird thing. And I actually brought that up on the phone.
What a bizarre decision to make. But who knows?
Yep. But yeah, hopefully we can get that happening. In the meantime, Edward the Chinchilla says, feels good to catch you guys live again. Missed out on the last few.
Welcome back, Edward the Chinchilla.
Asklor says, very slight silver lining to the AI using so much energy. It's making nuclear power development a necessity. Doesn't justify the rest of the consequences, but it is a good thing.
Yeah. The problem is if nuclear power becomes a necessity and we start using AI to run our nuclear power plants and then we decide to get rid of AI.
So I know that humanity can be dumb at times, but like you mentioned last night about the nuclear arsenal, I can't imagine that the scientists and the safety people at the nuclear plants would allow it.
I'd hope. I do think most of the people working on AI are sociopaths. So we just got to make sure we keep the sociopaths out of nuclear industry and out of government.
Agree.
And I think there is a certain point that if people are lobbying to put AI in charge of nuclear power plants, there is a certain point when certain decisions must be made about how to proceed.
In the meantime, Wesawa says, instead of the Butlerian Jihad,
Butlerian Crusade, we don't like...
We'll get the Mattis Crusade.
Yes.
That's what he said. A few thousand years early at that.
Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
Greg 2084 says, Greater Good just reminds me of Hot Fuzz. That's when you just start messing with people for the Village of the Year award.
Was that a reference to the movie Hot Fuzz?
I believe so.
Okay. Great or good? I'm confused.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
For some of these, start giving us like a RE colon topic, and I think that will help.
It will indeed.
Yes.
Kellen's back saying, thoughts on microchips housing demons conspiracy?
What? Pardon?
Apparently there's a conspiracy that demons are existing within microchips, it would seem. Now, he could be messing with us. He could be pulling a Hot Fuzz.
He could. I'm gonna... What was it?
Microchips housing demons.
Microchip demons? Bro. My search history, man.
There's nothing you could say to explain it.
All right. I will say, one of my friends, and this is the only person in the world who could possibly say this to me that I might believe him, told me that he has personally decoded Linear A.
What is that?
It is a, like, Mycenaean Greek script predating Linear B, which I think we sort of figured out what Linear B is and how to decrypt it. It's not my field. Linear A, totally unencrypted or totally undecrypted.
Have you told him to consider publishing that?
I did. If you ever met Jack, you would understand why I am not totally opposed to the possibility that he's actually done this, because he sent me the stuff. I just have to plug it into the right thing. He also said that he has figured out the Voynich manuscript, which is a medieval document that is written in a script and language that we cannot decipher, that appears to have something to do with botany. I've wanted to do a video on it, honestly.
That could be fun.
Yeah. It's like, is this document from another dimension?
Got it, okay.
I might be able to do that this week, actually.
See, now we have topics for the next 2 months ready to rock.
Yeah, I might have to. I'm gonna, when I get home tonight, I'm still on my Adderall. I took it late.
Well, that helps.
Actually, no, I didn't. I took it early today. That's why I'm hungry.
There you go. Gibby says, would you be interested in a Boundary Waters trip in northern Minnesota? Or maybe camping at Johnson Lake by Orr Mountain, or Orr, Minnesota, near where Jordan Grider disappeared. Also, if the human genome deteriorates, how did evolution occur?
Okay, so that last question is not a geneticist, not a biologist. I remember that ATP is a thing. I don't remember the math you do for it. I know the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Well, also, evolution occurs during...
I don't know how... I didn't even know the human genome was deteriorating. I don't know what that means.
Do you mean deteriorating like throughout an individual's life? Because we begin to have an...
Telomere shortening?
Well, it's more the increase of genetic mutation over time prevents the body from properly being able to, perform its functions. Yeah. That's what natural causes means. Well, it's just because...
Have you ever thought about how weird it is that we die?
I have, and then I came to the realization. Imagine a machine that is constantly running for a century.
Yeah. It just starts to break down.
That's the thing, is like, we have a muscle in our chest that beats 60 times a minute every minute we're alive.
Yeah. Mine beats faster than that a lot of the time.
Yeah, eventually...
Beats faster than that and then drops to not faster than that and then goes back up. And that's why we're seeing a doctor for her.
There we go. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are so many parts that, within any machine, parts need to be replaced. Sometimes you get catastrophic failure because things just happen. But, things break down, even biology.
And stem cells may prolong our lives to an absurd degree. I know there's a lot of controversy about stem cells. I'm not sure how I feel about it personally. As a human being, I am very intrigued by the potential to cure all disease. As a Christian, I don't love it.
I also think living beyond essentially 3 generations,
it makes things weird.
you're gonna start to get diminishing returns about life experiences.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's the thing, is like things accelerate so fast once you hit your mid-20s.
mhm.
Like the last 2 years feel like they were shorter than like a year.
Yeah.
I will say this. As far as stem cell research goes, I do think that obviously in the United States it's illegal at the moment, because it's technically creating a human life for the sole purpose of like extinguishing it. There's like, I'm pretty sure it's illegal in the United States. It's at least controversial, but you know, it's obviously gets linked to the abortion debate.
Mhm.
And even then, it's a totally separate issue, because like abortion is one thing, creating a human life for the sole purpose of extinguishing it so you can do research on its cells is understandably controversial, because people see it as a human life. There are people who don't see that as a human life. I'm not going to get into the ethics of the abortion debate. I personally, I don't vote on it. It's not something I consider. And I know people are going to be mad at me for even that stance. Dude, I'm not a politician here. I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm just telling you, like, that's not something I care to wade into.
It's an extensively complicated issue that we simply do not have enough information or good standing to
As the
understand.
Libertarian Party platform long held, seeing that there are good faith opinions on both sides of the issue, we refrain from taking a stance. That has been the Libertarian Party's position on abortion for a very long time. And I personally also feel that way. Again, not telling you how you're supposed to feel, not judging you for how you vote. Just explaining my position so you don't misinterpret it. Yeah, I think when it comes to stem cell research, I would like my dog to live as long as I live. I think that doing stem cell research on dogs is a great idea. Let's do that. If you can show me that you can cure genetic diseases in dogs and that you can make the stem cells replicate on their own, so that you don't have to create new embryos. And again, if I'm getting things wrong about stem cell research, do not like take this as gospel. I am giving my opinion on the issue as I understand it, which might be wrong. Again, this is off the cuff. This is not a show where I'm speaking authoritatively about really anything unless I've talked about it on the Friday videos. But yeah, I would love for Archie to live forever. Ella's time may come. I love that dog. Amanda and I have had this conversation. Like, might be a lot to have Ella for 60 years.
Did the vet ever actually see Ella?
I don't think so. It's Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has the problem persisted?
It's getting better.
But it persists.
Yeah. It's been better each day, though. So I think whatever she had is passing through her system.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah.
Murphy Rutledge says, me. Oh boy, I can't wait to watch a stream of my favorite cryptid channel. Aiden, AI is going to kill China if we don't do it over the first COVID.
Yes. I understand what was meant by that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we will talk about the Annabelle doll.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
We'll get there. Depending on how this Friday's video does, if people are more interested in Annabelle than in the Descent stuff. I did want to talk about the movie itself because it's really cool, but we could also we could talk about both. We could easily fill an hour and a half talking about both of those things.
100%. Dr. Glorfindel says, just tell me when the AI crusade starts. I need an excuse to buy a cool cyberpunk jacket.
We'll talk to Father Ben about it.
There we go.
He goes to my church.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Cinder says, what radicalized you, Aiden? Oh, sorry. In quotes, what radicalized you, Aiden?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the AI clone of my voice that finally did it. I went from, I hate this, but there's nothing I can do about it, to, I hate this and I will threaten anybody needed in order to make it stop.
Fair enough.
Yeah, hey, Officer Knox, I believe it was, let me see really quick. I can actually pull up the email that was associated. What was it? It was Nexa. Yeah, Nexa, Nexa, Oh, they deleted their email address.
What is this?
The people who stole my voice.
Oh,
They deleted the email address that they used.
Did you take a screenshot previously?
I have what the email address is.
Okay.
It was Nexa Crime Cooperation Official. I haven't found you yet. I will find you. And I won't personally dox you, but somebody might.
Yeah, does anybody remember the whole momlennial thing?
Yeah. Don't steal my voice, and then don't run away. Running away was the mistake. If you'd apologized, because you're a person. The channel wasn't, but you are. And if you just apologized, I'd have been like, you know what? Fair's fair. Delete the channel. You know, and you know, we'll go from there. But no, they decided to hide. And that was the wrong choice.
Fair enough. Raiders of the Lost Shark, which is a great username, says communism killed more than nuclear energy.
That is very true. A lot of things have killed more people than nuclear energy.
This is accurate.
Drunk drivers, historically, throughout time, have probably killed more people than nuclear energy.
Fitting for the name, I think sharks have probably killed more people than nuclear energy, and people don't get eaten by sharks a lot.
I don't know about that. Chernobyl did kill a lot of people, but but yeah, overall, nuclear energy is very low on the list of things that are likely to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, more people have probably died from the pollutants going into the air from coal and oil and natural gas than have died because of nuclear energy.
Yep. Shepard said, wasn't Chernobyl's tech also outdated even for the time? And the answer is yes. Very much so. It's just that it was cheap because it was the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Yep. John Doe says, please consult a lawyer. Right to publicity encompasses a right to your own identity.
Yes. Unfortunately, I need a lawyer to contact. Like, I would have to get a lawyer to go to YouTube and be like, hey, we need to know. And now they've deleted the email address. Like, who knows? If they have an AdSense account, if the channel was monetized, and I believe it was, then, because why would you do that otherwise? The channel was monetized and they had an AdSense account, then YouTube will have identifying information about the person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd probably have to, like, I'd have to sue YouTube to get it. And then I'd have to hire a private investigator. And then I'd have to get a lawyer. Which is a lot.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, I'm weighing the options. But I will find you.
Greg 2084 says, play Shadows of Doubt, let the red strings fly.
I gotta look that up.
While you do, Gurk80, Gurk, says, I've done years of research regarding...
Shadows of what?
Shadows of Doubt.
Video game.
Makes sense. In the meantime, though, Gurk is saying, I've done years of research regarding nuclear power, engineering, and weapons, so if y'all ever want to have an episode talking about it, let me know.
Yeah, we can definitely consider that. It's been a while since I talked to you, Gurk. We used to play Phasmophobia and Demonologist together. I miss it.
Yeah. Maria White says, I have no mouth and must scream with IAM? EM?
I am? Okay.
Fair enough. Mr. Phoenix Pro says, you make the argument that Frankenstein is the first AI cautionary story. I wouldn't quite say that because it is technically a human.
Yeah, it is technically artificial intelligence. I don't think Frankenstein had the personality of the person whose brain.
See, I was just thinking about this recently because that's the thing is like, it didn't, from what I understand, because it didn't have a memory.
It's been a long time since I read the book.
Yeah, but it could have been the consciousness of the person just without the memory. And at the same time, though, it was still biological. It was still all human parts.
True, but I mean, technically, artificial intelligence is artificial intelligence. It doesn't necessarily have to be mechanical.
Fair.
If you were able to create a human,
Mm-hmm.
like by building up like the building blocks from like amino acids, like not take existing genes and mix them together. Like if you were to take base elements and construct genetic code out of them and create a human, I guess that technically would be artificial intelligence.
It just kind of gets to the heart of like, what is a human?
Yeah.
Like, does it have to be something that comes from a zygote?
This is where we get back into the religion conversation. We did enough of that yesterday.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
would argue a human has to have a soul. And I don't think that you can have a soul if you're not created
Theoretically, though,
by
if
God.
okay,
Yeah.
Well, what element of conception is God a part of?
The quickening of the soul.
When does that happen?
That's a discussion. There are some biblical passages that can be read to suggest that it happens at conception. There are some that people read to argue that life begins at birth. I mean, really, this is the thing about the Bible is that if you can take things one way or another. In many cases, it's the main reason I ended up becoming a Catholic, an Anglican Catholic, is because I do think that that Christianity and religion in general probably require some form of priesthood, that people don't start just interpreting it however they want,
Mm-hmm.
which, as we now see, is what has happened to Christianity over the last 100 years. It has gone from, basically, the way things were 100 years ago, you basically had Roman Catholics, the Orthodox churches, Anglicans, and then Lutherans, Calvinists, and the early version of the Baptist Church in America. A lot more than that now. A lot more than that.
Yeah.
You also had Mormons.
Fair. Ripoff Productions LLC says the thing wrong with HAL was that it followed orders literally. It was told to keep secrets, but also not to lie, so it resolved the conflict by killing the crew. It was evil because it was stupid.
Yeah, I can accept that and think it applies to the rest of AI as well.
Do you see Sesame? Have you seen the Sesame AI? Miles and something else?
No?
Apparently,
Sesame, Street?
No. There's a company called Sesame, and it's like Sesame AI, and they have two profiles. One is a man that is Miles, and other's a woman. I can't remember the name of that one. But there's a guy who's been systematically testing them on TikTok for months, and the most recent video that I've seen of his was of him testing Miles, and he was reading some headlines in the news about some stuff that Trump did, and then he asked, who is the president of the United States to Miles, who is an AI that has been publicly available for 6 months, and Miles said Kamala Harris. And he kept asking clarifying questions, and the AI continuously doubled down on the fact that Kamala Harris was president. And then the guy said, so she's not, she never has been. How do you conflate that with all the information you have?
Yeah.
And the AI responded with, well, clearly something about my training data must have been wrong then at a serious fundamental level if that's the case. So whatever AI Sesame or whatever information Sesame is training their AI on is information that is incorrectly stating that Kamala Harris is the current president of the United States, which I find interesting because A, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And B, would that not cause consistent prolific problems for anybody using your AI as a means of getting information?
Sabotage. Because, here's the thing: if I had the coding skills to get involved in AI, and I had a conscience, I would be actively seeking out work at OpenAI or Google or whoever so that I could sabotage their AIs. Delay the process, destroy it if possible. It's kind of funny that now any cartoon that you make through certain AI models has a yellow tint to it.
Wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Was that because somebody...
It for some reason, while being trained, decided that cartoons should be yellow.
Interesting.
Yeah. It would be nice if I could train an AI on my own brain and then ask myself questions.
Yeah, well, that's like the use case of productivity, of like where it actually is applicable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like using it as a search engine and also as like an internal, like intra search engine is beneficial.
Yeah. Sad that we can't have nice things.
Yeah. The Honest Grifter says, I'm writing a novel where the antagonists are a Christian cult who are also vampires. Any tips on making it clearer the book isn't anti-Christian?
Ooh. I understand the predicament.
I feel like my instinct is essentially to, somewhere in the book, show that like a more definitive, like foundational
I think
church looks at what they're doing as wrong.
that is definitely one way of doing it. I think having it in the world building that the Catholic Church, the Episcopalian Church, well, the Episcopalian Church doesn't disapprove of anything anymore. But like the Catholic Church, the Orthodox Church have denounced this. Even some of the more mainline American churches, the Methodists, the Episcopalians, Baptists even. I think if there was stuff in the world building about that, then that helps, is to say that like this has been condemned by Christians. If it's the bad guys, then having all the other Christians condemn them helps.
You could even have a point of conflict in the story where if they're actively trying to grow their following, they at some point come across like a devout Catholic or, Anglican Catholic. And in the interaction, once that Christian person finds out what's going on, they're like, no, obviously this isn't real Christianity.
Yeah, and I mean, is it a cult in the sense that they genuinely believe in this stuff? In that case, it's kind of a religion. Or is it a cult in the stereotypical sense where the person at the top knows that that they're manipulating people? And if it is that, then I think you just weave that into the story. Make it clear to the reader that person, was it a video game or a story?
It was a novel.
Novel, yeah. Make it clear to the reader. This is where you use dramatic irony and situational irony and things like that. Make sure you don't have the characters don't have to know this, but you can tell the reader without telling the characters.
Yep. Daniel Franklin Henry Jr. says, y'all should check out the band Ayreon, which is Ayreon, specifically the album The Source. The theme of the album is computers taking over and humans having to escape the planet.
Interesting. Is it metal? It sounds like it would be metal.
It does sound like it would be metal.
I'm a big power metal guy. I enjoy that power metal.
Roy Thomas for $50, thank you very much, says, hi guys, big fan of the show here. This November 10th marks the 50th anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald, a much remembered tragedy here in Michigan. It might make a good video to talk about the history of the ship and the wreck.
Not only does it mark the what anniversary? 50th anniversary of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, but it marks the 28th anniversary of Aiden. That's my birthday. And yes, I have been planning is that Friday? What day of the week is that?
I don't know.
I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to check.
I just know that we pour out 30 drinks for the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, that is a Monday?
Okay.
So not only is it my birthday, and maybe we'll do a show in celebration, but yeah, the Friday before that is the 7th.
Okay.
So I was kind of wanting to do an Edmund Fitzgerald video.
Yeah.
Just cover the whole story.
I love the Edmund Fitzgerald story, so. And
PJ, our editor for History Unhinged, I just finished band practice before the show, so we were downstairs doing that stuff. PJ and I have recorded some music before. I thought it would be fun.
That would be fun.
To either do just like try and make like an acoustic folk cover of it instead of. It is kind of acoustic folk, but I don't know. maybe
a little bit more advanced.
a more like Noah Kahn style acoustic folk, or a pop punk cover.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I just, on the one hand, I'm like, oh man, I would love to, the legend lives on from the Chippewa on down. Like, yeah, that would be fun. I can do that. Or, legend lives on from the Chippewa on down.
Make it like as Midwest emo as possible.
As like Blink 182.
Yep.
Like, from the big lake they call Getchagumi.
That sounds like Delco.
It does. The overdone Tom DeLonge.
Yes.
Have you heard the argument that Tom DeLonge's singing voice is just a Delco accent?
No, this is the first time. I'm hearing this for the first time here.
Oh, you're telling me this for the first time. Do a heavy metal cover.
There's a lot of ways you could do it.
Oh yeah, there are.
Asklor says, worst case scenario, EMP everything, world becomes diesel punk.
I'm down.
I'm in.
Your car would still work.
It would, thankfully. That's a large reason why I got it.
Yeah.
Zombie Medic says, will there be any future John Benet Ramsey vids or Sebastian Rogers?
Oh yeah. Well, Sebastian, it's if something happens.
Yeah. Something worth covering happens.
Yeah. So far, it's just been more of the same. There's still people out there who are talking about Sebastian without actually talking about him. My mother is calling me. One moment. Hi, Mom. I'm live on YouTube. What's up? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm done. All right, sounds good. Love you. What was I saying? What were we talking about? What was the super chat?
John Benet and Sebastian.
Oh, yes. John Benet, yes. Here's the issue. YouTube did not like the John Benet series. I think I know why. If somebody has not... You guys all watched it. That core 150,000 people who watch every video, all of you watched it. The thing is, that's as many of you as there are. And a lot of people, when they see, part 5, they go, well, where's part 1? And now, yeah, part 1 is there. It's linked. There's a playlist. I'm pretty sure all of the parts are in the description of each episode. But, some people see part 5 and they're like, well, I'm not going to go back and watch part 1, whole thing. So I think what we'll do is we're going to do one of two things. It will release, the rest of the series will release next year, right? The Friday before Christmas. That is the 30th anniversary of the murder. And one of two things is going to happen. Either we're going to release the entire thing all at once, which will be long, or actually there's 3 options actually. Another one is that we will do a supercut of the 5 that have been produced up to this point and put that out the Friday before as a primer, and then put out the whole series on the Friday before Christmas. Or I might split it up into 5 episodes and have them go out that week, just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's really going to be about how long it ends up being, I think.
And we're hoping to release this when again?
The week before Christmas.
This year?
Not this year.
Okay.
2026.
Yep.
Yeah. Because again, that's the 30th anniversary.
Yep.
So that is currently the plan. I am hoping I'm interviewing a research assistant this week, who I am hoping that within a few months can be writing whole episodes on their own. If he can, then that means that I can take a week each month and just have him write the episode for that week. This would be somebody that I would not just be training to write. I would be training them to think the way I think. Yeah, so if I can get him to that point where he can write whole episodes, then I will take those weeks and just cruise through John Benet.
Yep. I personally,
that is my favorite thing to make to write about.
My favorite, series that we've done so far. My hope is that we could do the second option, which is just like a 10-hour long video of JonBenet, because personally,
so here's the thing. Yeah, the algorithm changed in August, but you know what else we did in August? We put out a 7-hour video.
and it did well.
It did well, but the one after it didn't. And I'm worried that we put out here's the thing. We put out a 7-hour video. People started watching it, and then when they went back to watch more Lore Lodge, they went back to watch that, not whatever the next video was. Now, we might be able to solve that problem by releasing one the weekend before Christmas and one the weekend before New Year's, so that it's 5 and 5 if it's a 10-hour video, But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Next, we have Gom coming back saying, man, I feel so good after tonight. Only good vibes.
Also, how are we doing in terms of timing here?
Left. It's 9:30. We've got probably about a dozen left from last night.
Cool. And then we got some from this?
Yes.
All right, I think we can do that. We got a little under 40 minutes. Let's go.
Go. The Real William White says, this AI talk reminds me of the short story Mana.
Mana?
Manna.
Right, I will pull that up too.
Rocky says, come to Lancaster, Mattis. I'll buy you a beer.
Okay, Lancaster is not far.
Yep.
Do y'all want to go to Shady Maple?
Ripoff Productions LLC says, I've heard arguments that AI isn't as efficient as the marketing says, and that it basically suffers from the same issue as slavery, where you need supervisors making sure it's actually doing what it's told. Yes, also, we're in a bubble.
Yeah. Also, I tried to get Grok to summarize one of my scripts. Actually, no, I tried to get it to give me a transcript of one of my scripts. Which is something that is, like, it should have the ability to do, because you can get the transcript from YouTube. You can download the transcript to our videos from YouTube.
Yeah.
That is a thing you can do.
There's also, like, third-party sources that make it really easy to. You throw in a URL, and it'll give you the translate.
Oh, I use TurboScribe. Like, here's the thing. I do use an AI tool. One. And solely because all it does is transcribe my own words.
Yep.
That is a productivity thing I support. Doesn't have to do anything else. So that's the one AI tool I do use. That is where I'm a hypocrite on this.
That's the thing, is like where
I also mostly use it I use it purely for research, because otherwise I'd have to sit there and do it myself.
Yeah.
And I would love to hire somebody to do that, but that would be so unbelievably expensive.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the one AI tool I use. Call me a hypocrite. I get it.
Well, you take a steadfast stance on creative AI rather than productivity
exactly.
AI.
My big problem is with creative AI.
Yep.
And also putting productivity AI in places where it's dangerous. But yeah, I use TurboScribe, and all I did was ask Grok, hey, can you provide me a transcript of my own video? And it kept it rewrote the video to be a lot more clickbaity and a lot less academic and more of like the voice it expects a YouTuber to have. And that really pissed me off. Didn't like that. Also, what did I say? Ooh, that would be a good thing to do this week. Too.
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Did I pull it up?
I think you did.
Was it the demons in
No,
the Voynich manuscript?
That's it.
What it was. I'm gonna pull up a tab for that too. Honestly, with how much is going on because of that dumbass.
Fair.
Without talking about Göbekli Tepe, they just found a statue that appears to have a human face at Göbekli Tepe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm of the opinion that either we are like that was a Stone Age civilization that was approaching like the Copper Age, and then something happened, or that it was the yeah, I mean, either way, I think whoever built that was there was a civilization.
Atlantis.
Well, that's the thing, is I think that might be Atlantis in terms of where it came from. I need to. I'm going to do a video on Atlantis too, where I really dig into what Plato said.
Yeah.
I just don't have time to do it this week because again, I have 3 days.
Again, we got to write all of this down because the next time that we have a day where you and I are on the phone trying to figure out what we're going to talk about.
I crash out at least once a month.
Yeah, like we were on the phone for probably no less than 2 hours today, if not more, trying to figure out like strategy for video topics that he could cover this week.
Yeah.
And it's moments like this where I'm like, let's make sure we write all of these good ideas down so you don't have to crash out again next month.
Honestly, that might be what I have. I was going to give the new guy, if I end up thinking he's going to be a good fit, a task.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the task I give him, is like, hey, I need you to go read all of Plato's dialogues that mention Atlantis, find any other Greek dialogues that mention Atlantis, and then consolidate what Plato actually said
Yep.
Atlantis was, and point out any contradictions. That seems like if he can do that, that's probably a good sign.
I would say so, yeah.
Because that is a lot of what I do. A lot of my time is spent, for those who watch the Annabelle video, a lot of my time is spent reading through various sources, looking for contradictions, looking to get the core story.
Yep.
And then while he's doing that, I can read Ignatius Donnelly's Atlantis, the Antediluvian World.
There we go. Cypress 101 says, hi, both Aidens. Been a fan since the old cryptid videos like the Wendigo Skinwalker stuff. Been loving listening to your podcast on Spotify. Hope you both and the intern are doing great.
Oh, thank you.
That's that could be another thing.
What?
We
started uploading the videos to Spotify?
Yeah, they're not the ones of that week, but we do have a significant backlog and we are consistently posting on Spotify.
Views?
Yeah.
Are we making money from Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm so detached from the operations at this point. He's the COO for a reason. I'm the CEO. There is no CFO. We just have an accountant.
Yep. We're not big enough for a CFO
no,
yet.
We're not.
Yeah.
CMO, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're also working more and more closely with our management. So.
Yep. But that's doing well. Rumble is borderline pointless to put on.
If you do have a show, by the way, if you have a channel, or even if you're on TikTok, Instagram, got a following, and we're talking like, let's say, preferably if you've hit partner level on any of those platforms. But if you're looking at, like, say on YouTube, you got 20,000 subs, shoot us an email, pitch yourself to us, because if you are in a position to grow, not only will we potentially be able to help coach you on, how to improve, but we are looking to help our management sign more people.
Yep.
So we would love to get involved to help that business grow, because when our management grows, the more powerful they are, the more powerful we are in terms of getting good deals for things. And we're actively working with them to help provide editing for smaller channels that can't afford their own editor, social media, things like that, just training and all. So I was helping him yesterday. We were shooting the next week's video, and he's not accustomed to reading from the teleprompter. So as we're sitting there, I'm like, okay, try reading this line like this. All right, you're going too fast. You're thinking ahead of yourself. I do this all the time. Slow down. If you're struggling with a line, don't try to keep chugging through it. Stop, read it, read the one after it, figure out how you want to say it, and go from there. And I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, I could actually, I didn't realize that I now have a skill set for that I didn't previously have.
Yeah, and as someone who was essentially being coached from that, it was extremely helpful. Even though I had just written my entire script that morning, there were several lines where I'd get halfway through the line and then suddenly realize that I was reading it wrong. I was putting the inflection in the wrong spot because I kept thinking I was about to say something different, even though they were my own words that I'd just written.
Yep.
So having him there has been very helpful.
Where should they email us about that? Do we have the info at Redacted Media PA?
I would say admin at Redacted Media PA is probably going to be the best, because we have a lot of channels going through that.
Do you have access to that?
I think so.
All right, yeah. Email to admin@redactedmediapa.com. Give us your media kit, your pitch, who you are, what you're looking to do, and we will have the intern consolidate and read through and show us who, for lack of a better term, is worth our time. But I really mean that. Like, we have limited time.
Yeah.
So, we'll try and get back to everybody at the very least with tips and tricks. I responded to somebody on Instagram today who was asking about that. So I do try. It's just a matter of limited time. I feel bad when somebody emails me and I can't get back to them.
Yep. We like to pass it forward because people did that for us when we were getting started, so it only feels right to do the same.
Exactly.
Eric Brown says, Mom was right, it really is that damn phone.
It really do be that damn phone.
Wolf Lord Bran says, it's the fact that the internet lets people talk to each other now, or lets... Okay, I will read it verbatim.
Okay.
It's the fact that the internet lets the talk to each other now. Before it was just the bad uncle. Now it's the racist uncle who has the website and can talk to people even more than
Probably
him.
meant them.
That would make sense.
Yeah, and I assume you're talking about just like extremism and crazy people and conspiracy theories. Like, yeah, it's I did a TED talk on this in college.
Oh yeah.
When I was a freshman. My whole we had to do a TED talk for my rhetoric and civic life course. And my topic was how the internet has both been good for humanity and also led to the rise of extremism. And I talked about things like a prime example I used was furries. Before the internet, furry conventions were not a thing.
Yep.
Furries in general weren't really a thing before the internet. And that's not to comment on furries in particular. Just it was the first thing that came to mind was like, this is something that would not exist if it were not for the internet.
Yep. Same thing with a lot of subcultures.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Flat Earth. The big Flat Earth guy, his name is escaping me. Arthur something. The big Flat Earth guy up into the 90s, he had a mailing list that he would send out his materials to.
Yep.
These people couldn't really talk to each other. They had to write a letter to him, and he'd publish the letter, and then people would write letters responding to the letter. The internet comes around, and suddenly Flat Earth is everywhere, and it's just insane. So yeah, the internet, great in a lot of ways, also a lot of problems. Just imagine how much worse AI will be.
Yep. Echo Warrior says, lads, just got done watching this Chernobyl show and was wondering if y'all would ever cover it. Starters, I absolutely love that show. I think it's probably one of the, if not the best series that's ever been made, especially by HBO.
I would happily present on that. I don't feel as though I have the scientific background to write it.
I will say, like, you could definitely cover the historical perspective, but if we partnered with somebody like Kyle Hill or Veritasium or something like that, that could cover the, science elements, it would be a fun partnership.
That's what I mean, is if somebody could even just write the script for me on that aspect, I'm happy to read it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm the best person to prepare that material.
Yeah. Fair.
And that's something a lot more creators need to be willing to say. I'm not the right person for this.
I'm curious what you're referring to specifically, but I'll ask you later.
Yeah.
Isaac Kitchell, for $50, thank you very much, says, glad to catch you live. My wife and I were disagreeing the other day about how real the Amityville haunting was, and I wanted to get your opinion on it since you're covering the Warrens. What do you think? Was the haunting of the Lutzes real or fake?
So we actually do have a video on that, believe it or not. It's old. It's really old. I am fat. That's how old it is. This jawline here, which is aided, to be fair, by the facial hair. But this jawline was not there. I was round. I was a round boy. But yeah, that's I don't know. So first of all, Ron DeFeo, who was the man who murdered his family and kind of inspired the haunting issue, he did not claim to be possessed as a defense. He claimed temporary insanity, which is different. Eventually, Arnie Johnson would use, on the Warrens' advice, would use the defense of demonic possession. It did not work. He went to prison for manslaughter. Ron DeFeo claimed insanity. He did not claim to be demonically possessed, if I remember correctly. He just said that, once he started, for some reason, he kept feeling like he had to, and then once he started, he couldn't stop. You could call that demonic possession. That's I think, a fair claim to make. At the same time, that wasn't what he said. So the demonic possession angle does kind of come in with the Lutzes. The lawyer for the Lutzes, I believe, lawyer, publisher. It was somebody connected to them who had to do with the creation, the publishing of the story. Did say that they came up with it over a bottle of wine, but also that it was implied that it wasn't completely false, but that they did embellish it, which is why I'll be doing another video on the Amityville haunting. We talked about this today.
Yep.
I'm going to do another video on the Amityville haunting. I just can't. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it before the Perone family haunting or if I'm going to do it before on its own. Part of the reason I think the Perone family haunting was first, and the reason I started with Annabelle is because that's the beginning of their demonology career. Even though technically the demonology part of the story didn't exist until 10 years after the supposed encounter with the doll, which, as we now know, there's no evidence that story existed as a set piece until 1980. But yeah, Amityville, I think there may be something to it, but again, the Warrens are involved. There was an admission by somebody directly involved with the creation of the story, as it was presented, who said that they made a lot of it up. I think it's probably going to be one of those things where, again, there's a nugget of truth, but hey, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. Eric Brown says in little star quotes, "Fortunate Son starts playing."
Oh yeah.
Asklor says, "Can you argue with Nick/Fat Electrician about something? You are both very good at arguing, and it would be entertaining AF."
He's going to be on, I mean, tentatively, I believe he is going to be on History Unhinged. So I will ask him when he gets here to give me his hottest historical takes, and we'll see. We'll see if we disagree on anything and if we can argue. If you guys want to look through his material and our material and let me know something that you guys know we disagree on, you can also definitely do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Who's running logistics on that for right now?
Steven.
Okay, cool. Kelmy Official Data says, T Swift only has a career because her father bought the indie record label she first signed to.
I don't know that I would agree with that. I think she still would have had a career.
Yeah.
That definitely jump-started it. That shot her from... She got to skip a few steps.
I will say, I listened to the first, 3 or 4 songs from her new... Yeah. It's serviceable.
At best.
Yeah, it sounds like regular pop music. She sounds a lot like Lana Del Rey on this album.
Which one are you listening to?
The most recent one.
Sure.
Yeah, positive.
Life of a Showgirl, not Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah, Life of a Showgirl, yeah.
I listened to Tortured Poets Department and I was like, this is a Lana Del Rey album.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because...
I listened to some of Life of a Showgirl and I was like, this is like a Sabrina Carpenter and Lorde album put together.
So here's the thing. So I have not listened to the previous one.
Yeah.
I've only listened to this. So her vocal tone sounds like Lana Del Rey to me.
Okay, you're talking about vocal tone.
Yeah, vocal tone, very Lana Del Rey. The style
felt like somebody trying to be Sabrina Carpenter, but
very much so.
Nearly as clever as Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah. Well,
which is hilarious because this is the first one Taylor Swift actually wrote 100% on her own.
Do we know that for a fact?
That appears to be the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know I had mentioned it. I wasn't sure if that was actually
I believe
true or
that
not.
is the case. That's what I'm seeing all over the place. And somebody pointed out that Taylor Swift is actually not educated. She has a high school education. And she's been parading herself around as, this deep thinker. Yeah, I mean, Travis knows how to ball. She knows Aristotle, according to the song she wrote about it. I'll be honest, I've listened to a lot of her music. I've never felt like she's deeply referencing any of the material she's referencing. It sounds more like it's a gimmick. And I think it might be. I think this album might prove that it was a gimmick the whole time and that she didn't actually read Hamlet.
So you know what
or if she did read Hamlet, she did it a really long time ago.
You know what I noticed listening to it that is very relevant to what you're describing? You know how people get annoyed at John Mayer for being a little too metaphorical and full of himself? I can see why these two dated for a short period.
Yeah.
Because listening to these songs, I only ever listened to the top 40 Taylor Swift songs, but listening to a couple of these, it was the first song, she's like, "You called me on the megaphone" or something like that. And I whatever it was, but it was specifically the word megaphone. Yeah. And I was like,
"You used to call me on
the megaphone." That's the thing. It was this sounds like somebody attempting to do the type of metaphor that John Mayer does, and somehow sounding more pretentious than he does. Keep in mind, I'm a fan
Of John Mayer.
of John Mayer.
I'm not even a Taylor Swift hater. I want to be clear about that. Like, I enjoyed her first however many albums up through 1989. I actually enjoyed her music a lot. And I especially enjoyed her early stuff.
And I have nothing wrong or no problem with Taylor Swift. I just think that I was surprised at how much backlash this album is getting, though. Because,
like, Fate of Ophelia is the song. I heard you calling on the megaphone. You want to see me all alone. As legend has it, you are quite the pyro. You light the match to watch it blow.
And that's the thing, is like that feels like metaphor that's kind of reaching. This reminds me of the music I wrote in middle school that I immediately after writing it in 4th grade recognized was trash.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about it, and like, I think here's what's jarring.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the vocabulary used, there is zero progression from Love Story to Fate of Ophelia.
Was Love Story the last one? Or?
Love Story was like her first big hit.
Oh, okay, got it.
The Romeo take.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know who's, I think, a great example of really good, like, metaphorical and symbolic songwriting is Alex Gaskarth from All Time Low. That, the stuff he writes is poetry. And I know it's, you're probably thinking, really, pop punk? Yeah, his lyrics are poetry.
Oh, I'll go one step further. Real poetry to song is Mikkel from the Airborne Toxic Event.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to their music?
Toxic Event.
Well, dude, have you ever listened to any of their music? Most of their songs don't even have choruses. It's just straight poetry set to rock music. And it like, they're phenomenal songs. Like, that is poetry and metaphor at its peak in songwriting, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. All right. So we've got the, we'll do this right before we go to the next one, because again, I have a call in 15 minutes.
Yep.
The chorus of Fate of Ophelia. All that time I sat alone in my tower. You were just honing your powers. Now I can see it all. Late one night, you dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia, which is not really how Ophelia's story goes or works, or even what the central conflict of it is.
I will say, though, in terms of pop,
it gets worse. Keep it 100 on the sea, on the land, the sea, the sky. Pledge your allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes. Don't care where the hell you've been, because now you're mine. It's about to be the sleepless night you've been dreaming of, the fate of Ophelia. I'm now going to read you from the first verse of Therapy by All Time Low. My ship went down in a sea of sound. When I woke up alone, I had everything. A handful of moments I wished I could change, and a tongue like a nightmare that cut like a blade. In a city of fools, I was careful and cool, but they tore me apart like a hurricane. A handful of moments I wished I could change, but I was carried away. One of these things is not like the other. I mean, and that's just like the first one I could think. All Time Low is a big band for me. They mean a lot to me. But the chorus of this song, or not the chorus, the bridge of this song by All Time Low, I'm going to read in a second. But here's the bridge of Fate of Ophelia. 'Tis locked inside my memory, and only you possess the key. No longer drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. Locked inside my memory is the same. It repeats. Therapy. Arrogant boy, love yourself so no one has to. They're better off without you. Arrogant boy, cause a scene like you're supposed to. They'll fall asleep without you. You're lucky if your memory remains. These are both supposed to be introspective songs.
Yeah.
One of them is much better written. Also, arrogant boy, love yourself so no one has to is a line that hit me so hard when I was 16 and has not stopped punching me in the face. Because if there's one criticism I get more than any other, it's that I'm arrogant.
Fair.
And I will point out that for a little while there, I had to love myself because
Yeah. No, I mean,
myself, so nobody else did. So I get it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's weird to go on a tangent and all that, but I know the Swifties are going to be pissed.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that's why I started off by saying it's a serviceable pop album, because it reminds me.
It's a serviceable pop album by a woman who presents herself as being, really cerebral and, literary and everything. And she's not. Like, those songs that she wrote, that's There's a distinct gap between that and her other albums.
Mm-hmm. Some have theories about why that is, but
Jack Antonoff is one of those theories.
Yep.
Who is fantastic.
What was some other work that he did?
Bleachers. Fun.
Right. And then the last one from last night is from Wolf Lord Bran saying, Aiden, you need to give a direction before just saying that way. Otherwise, I'm assuming she's always 40 miles directly behind wherever you are. Valid point, but when he did that, he was being literal.
Pointing in the correct direction.
Yeah, that was the actual place.
Yeah. So, just since we're on the topic, I read you some lyrics written by Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Right? Who, keep in mind, Jack Antonoff has written a lot of songs with her.
Yeah.
Where is the line I was looking for? Which one was I looking at? I've got the wrong song. Yeah, let's just go with the first verse of it. Hey, I hear the voice of a preacher from the back room calling my name, and I follow just to find you. I trace the faith to a broken down television and put on the weather. And I've trained myself to give up on the past because I froze in time between hearses and caskets. Lost control when I panicked at the acid test. I want to get better.
Solid.
We're dealing with different levels of songwriting ability here.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say, like, this isn't me like shitting on Taylor Swift, like, and saying men are better songwriters. Sabrina Carpenter is an incredible songwriter.
Sabrina Carpenter might be the best pop star we have right now.
Yeah, and I don't even particularly enjoy listening to her music, but I listen to her lyrics and I'm like, this is smart. Like, yes, it is very raunchy.
Yeah.
But it's intelligently raunchy.
Yeah. I suffer a malady that I would consider a malady, which is
Malady?
Yeah, I love music. I love listening to music. The lyrics usually will not sink in. It's usually like, if I remember any lyrics, it's going to be the chorus.
Yeah.
It's only when I'm like, because usually I'm listening to music while doing other things. I'm not usually actively listening to music. But on the rare occasion that I am, I'll pay attention to lyrics. Mm-hmm. There was a point where I was hearing Espresso again, and just one of the lines caught my ear. And so I just sat down and like actively listened to it. Mm-hmm. And up until the point where I actually like was paying attention to what was being said, I did not realize how clever and like multifaceted the lyrics in that song were. Like you said, raunchy, but like, oh yeah, like upright, move it up, right down, oh, switch it up like Nintendo. Yeah. That's that Mia Espresso. Yeah. It's like, that is a beautiful metaphoric way to explain exactly what you're causing that man to do at night. Yep. And it's just like, yeah, get it, queen. Yeah. And I don't know if she wrote that on her own, but I mean, it's from what I understand, she is writing most of her stuff on her own. But then we get, from Tay Swizzle. Mm-hmm. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He amatized me and opened my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs. So here's my question. Is this the first time she's been with anybody ever that was above average? Because she's been in a number of relationships. And I don't think, granted, I have not listened to anywhere near the entirety of her discography.
I think she and Travis Kelce are of very similar intelligence levels.
But this is the first time she's mentioned any redwood trees, am I right? Mm-hmm. It's interesting to me. Yeah.
So I go up to my room and there's girls on the ceiling, cut out their pictures, and I chase that feeling of an 18-year-old who didn't know what loss was. Now I'm a stranger. And I miss the days of a life still permanent, more in the years before I got carried away. That's the guy who used to write her songs.
Mm-hmm.
All of that bitchin', wishing on a falling star never did me any good. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's you and me forever, dancing in the dark, all over me. It's understood. I ain't got to knock on wood. It's just cliche after cliche after cliche after bad metaphor after cliche. Yeah. So, do we have ones from today?
We do.
How many?
Let me look. We've got probably like 2 or 3 dozen from
That came in before
825. Yeah. Yeah.
So tomorrow, it's gonna be rolling.
Yeah. It just never stops.
It would be the most profitable thing we could possibly do to just keep doing that. All right. I did get a text from Andrew, so we're good to keep going. He said he's free the rest of the night.
Okay.
Let's try and cruise through these. Limit the conversation as much as possible. We'll cruise through them.
Okay. All right. So Shepard started off by saying Butlerian Jihad when.
Okay. Yes. Good.
Aaron used a member super chat and then followed that up saying Helldivers lore video on Friday ?
I would love to do a Helldivers lore video. Unfortunately, YouTube would skewer me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nove42 says, for my ballistic helmet, should I get a standard helmet, scrim, or World War II style net? I think any netting that breaks up your human structure is going to be good. Throw some leaves and twigs and some branches in there.
The full question again?
It was, for my ballistic helmet, should I get a standard helmet cover, scrim, or World War II style net?
No, that's honestly a really hard question.
The nets are steezy.
The nets, here's the thing. The net is going to be the least durable, but it's also probably going to be the most useful for adding camouflage aspects and breaking up your silhouette. What was the second one you asked about?
Scrim?
Scrim. Not familiar with the term scrim.
Yeah, not in this context, at least. While you look that up, Pi says, do the Mississippi civilization.
Yeah, scrim, I think, would probably be a solid one.
Can I see it? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's easy. Also, yeah, Pi says, do the Mississippi civilization.
Trust me, man, I am so ready. I am so ready to do the Mississippians. I just need, I need time. I need time. I need a full week prep. I need time. There's so many videos that I'm like, man, if I had 2 weeks to write this. So.
Yep. Also, Asklor says, Finno-Korean Hyper-War!
Yep, there we go.
Sorry, I had to read it as was written.
Yeah, I understand. I get it. I understand it.
Jacket, member 17 months, thank you, says, I've asked before, but I would love for you guys to cover the Colonial Parkway murders from Virginia. They're local to me and they need more attention.
Adding it to my list. See, this is what I need a research assistant for.
Yeah. Also, yeah, the dogs are barking.
Oh no.
Because I didn't have time to put on proper shoes. I was
How
EP.
did they see your feet?
Oh, because I was sitting cross-legged for a period of time.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Also, thank you for the compliment about my legs. I appreciate it. I guess they are looking pretty solid. All right. Nice little win for my ego tonight. Thank you. In the meantime, Cat, who is not my cat,
Okay.
But is a cat, with a picture of a cat as the profile picture, says, please look at Jody Huisentruit? Huisentruit? Huisentruit.
One more time.
H-U.
H-U. Oh, there it is. Huisentruit.
Yep. From Iowa. Lots in just the wiki page alone.
Interesting. Day before a golf tournament, house. Yeah. All right. I have a just off the bat. I have a theory here, but I'll see.
Fair enough. Tyler Dalrymple's back saying, loved the rant last night. Reminded me of Uncle Ted. Personally, I see nothing good coming from AI. Most dangerous thing we've ever invented.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but
It makes nuclear weapons look like chump change.
yeah. Griff says there needs to be a third person there with a Nerf gun that nerfs you two with it when you get off track for too long.
That's true. True.
But it's fun.
It is fun.
It is fun. Pseudo Legend says if Mattis says T-Rex is a scavenger again, his toes will never be unsalivated ever again.
I hate that.
That was wild.
Like that. Look, unless there's been some pretty major developments in the world of the T-Rex since I was a child, it was a scavenger.
Well, modern documentaries don't highlight that very much.
I haven't watched a dinosaur documentary since I was like 7. Everything I know about dinosaurs I learned as a small child.
That's fair. Not even just like when you're high, just throw something on dinosaur documentary?
No, the only time I use those substances is to go sleepy buys.
The only time?
The only time. The only time.
Fair enough. What else?
Treatment for my insomnia.
That's fair. Not for our friends, though.
No. Yeah. Turns out, Ativan, not great long term.
Yeah, no, not ideal in the slightest.
So THC is a much better replacement for that, especially because you can get it legally now.
Hmm.
The legal kind.
But yeah, in terms of the T-Rex, it's more on the it scavenged when it could, but it was a pretty proficient hunter.
All right. Well, I guess, like I said, maybe the dinosaur science has changed.
Yeah, supposedly Ian Sharps is just adding in the regular chat saying they found a Triceratops that definitely wasn't scavenged.
For other things that could have hunted a Triceratops, but okay.
I think the point being is that they were like, I think,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Anyway.
I thought we found out Triceratops wasn't real.
What?
I thought we found out that we screwed something up there. I don't know. Maybe not. Like I said, I just catch the dinosaur news as it comes in. Next, we get.
Okay. All right. The Hillbilly Historian says, since the Mississippians have come up a lot, you guys should do mosey on down to the Southeastern Archaeological Conference in Baton Rouge from November 5th to 8th.
I would love to do that.
That would be really cool. That would actually be really fun to be able to do that.
If I could find a way to make that happen, I certainly would. Where is it?
Baton Rouge,
Baton Rouge.
November 5th to 8th.
We can swing that. We will.
I don't know what's going on in our lives in November because there's too many things in October I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Goji Fan 2001 says, hey guys, I just wanted to drop by real quick. I enjoy everything you guys do. Keep it up. Also, screw AI. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dan Lopez says, came for the Bigfoot, stayed for the true crime.
Woo. Thank you.
Wolflord Brand says, if you are ever free of the algorithm, do you plan on adding more to the Sasquatch series you did previously, like maybe updating for new cases?
Honestly, I would add more to the Sasquatch series without the algorithm. I was thinking about doing a video on Jeff Meldrum recently passed away. He was a big Sasquatch advocate. He was one of the few academics who was pro Sasquatch. And he was actively teaching anthropology as a university professor up until he died.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to read his books. And then also the Patterson Gimlin tape was one that we wanted to look at. Because we got a lot of flack for how I talked about that tape in one of the Bigfoot episodes. Guys, I don't see it. I don't see all the things people keep insisting are there, and they're like, well, if you look at the AI enhanced ones, I'm like, yeah, AI adds things. It adds what it thinks is supposed to be there. It's not just enhancing. So I don't think without seeing the actual original tapes, or at least a first generation copy, anybody can really say what is seen. And as far as I understand it, the original tapes are lost, and there's only a few examples of the first run of copies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I also think that a lot of Bigfooters, people who are into Bigfoot, spend a bit too much time looking at the tape itself and not the circumstances of its creation. Patterson was actively trying to make a Bigfoot movie. Like that is something he had been working on for several years, and part of the reason was that he was trying to pay for cancer treatment. Tragic situation, but if I remember correctly, the guy who told him to look there admitted that he was the one who planted all of the fake footprints in the 50s.
Well, they also there's a documentary where they show the suit they used.
Well, somebody claims it was the suit they used.
Looks pretty damn close.
I know, and it drives me nuts when people are like, "Oh, well, nobody could have made a suit that realistic back then." I'm like, first of all, the suit doesn't really look that realistic. Second of all, they made Planet of the Apes the year after that. So,
yep. Griff says, this one is for Chimp because he's poor. If bloodlines are a thing and plastics are made from oils, which are made from dinosaurs, are we dinosaurs? No, because they're related to birds. Birds descended from dinosaurs. We did not.
Also, isn't most oil from plant material?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a misconception, partially actually promoted by the oil lobby.
Shocker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's so cold.
Amazing, because I'm warm.
And I don't think you're directly in the path of it the way I
Correct. That's true. That's very valid. John Anderson says, check out Project Azorian. You also may draw inspiration from Art Bell episodes for content.
Yes, I have looked at some Coast to Coast stuff.
Yep.
Just a lot of Coast to Coast stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a lot to sift through.
I did find a few when I was doing some research for another one that I wanted to look at. So I'll have to give it a look again. Art Bell was in my opinion, the proto Joe Rogan.
Yeah, 100%.
He got mad at me for comparing the two of them, and I was like, dude, I didn't say anything bad about Art Bell. I said that he had basically anyone on and would just talk to people about interesting things. That was not a dig at Joe Rogan.
No, he walked so Rogan could run.
Yeah. I'd love if Joe Rogan would have us on, because I would love to correct some of the misconceptions that several of the people he's had on recently have created.
Yeah, we talked about that in one of the History Unhinged recordings that y'all will see later in the year.
Yes, and we also talked about it a week ago.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think part of the problem is that a lot of the communicators in that space, you basically get two things. You get the Flint Dibbles, who are good academics, but would not be good in a debate. And then you have the Milos, who are good at what they do, but what they do is also very antagonistic. And I'm not criticizing him for that at all. I think Milo's videos on archaeological bullshit are very funny.
They are.
But also it can be abrasive if you are somebody who believes in that kind of thing. And I think there's an important middle ground where you can reach certain people. There's some that you're never going to reach. But the people in the middle who are like where I was 4 years ago when it came to Graham Hancock, and I was like, well, I mean, everything he's saying seems legit to me.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it took me digging into Graham Hancock myself.
Yep.
And going and looking at all the specific stuff, because it really seemed like it was just people being dismissive. And it's only once you really dig into it yourself that you're like, okay, so it's not just people being dismissive. There are inaccurate things here, but then you come across certain things where it is just people being dismissive. Like some of the criticism about the his ideas about Malta. I was reading into it, and there was something off the coast of Malta that looked like it could have been a human-made structure, and all I could find from the academic side was people saying it's just not. Like somebody was like, yeah, I dove down there, it's not human-made, but they didn't explain why.
Yeah.
There was no explanation as to why. It was just, I'm an archaeologist, listen to me. And that doesn't work. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
That's why I have asked Michael Button no fewer than 6 times to come on the show. And here's the thing. He's responded to me before. I have a similar number of Twitter followers as he has. I know he's seeing my replies. I know he's not answering them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know why. So, and here's the thing. I mean, I've been very antagonistic of people, but not antagonistic, but I've been very blunt about my feelings about people and still had them on the show and been nice to them.
Yep.
Unless they give me a reason not to be.
Yep. Watch our FE debate.
I watched the Austin Whitsitt debate.
Yeah.
I was nice for a while.
You really held it together.
I held it together for a really long time.
You did. Also, Kat, why did you have to phrase it that way?
What did she say?
She said, and some of your piss was T-Rex blood.
Okay, next question.
You could have just said water.
Next
Some of
question.
the water you drank. Anyway, Ben Schraufnagel says, speaking of true crime, AJ Frund case.
On the list.
AJ and then Frund is Freund.
It's Freund, by the way.
That's what?
Freund.
Freund?
Freund.
Fair enough. That one is for Ian.
Huh?
Ian said, damn, Thornbussy has a great back of his head. Oh.
Cat sees it all the time.
Nah, she's usually...
Joke.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering where you were coming from with that.
She's relationship.
Exactly, yeah. I'm usually too tired. Anyway. Village Idiot for $20 says, I wanted to get into investigative reporting research about local lore and events. Do you have any tips or advice for beginners? Also, hello from Central PA.
Hey.
Also, where there's nothing to do past 6 p.m. besides Sheets or Walmart.
Well, I will say this. If you have any interest in helping out with our Cindy song video, we might be able to meet you up in State College and talk in person. I think that's probably the best way to do it. If we go up, we are going to be doing that on...
Oh yeah, Kat, this is something we had a conversation about today, so
Yeah.
I have to check with you about
He has
this.
he has not confirmed. That's why I said if we were able to go up, it would
Yep.
be probably Saturday the 15th, I think. No, sorry, it's November. The Saturday the 18th, right?
I think so. I think that
If
makes
we
sense.
were to go up, it would be Saturday the 18th.
Kat, would I be able to do that for a day trip?
Also, if he's not, then I'll probably do it myself.
Yep.
In which case, we can just stop and grab coffee. Shoot an email over to him, not me. Thornbury at redactedmediapa.com, because he will be the one who actually schedules that.
Correct.
And then we can talk in person about it. I think it's an easier way of doing it than just trying to explain on here.
Yeah, 100%. Next is from Tim Wrigley saying, Colonial Dignidad?
What?
Dignidad?
Dignidad? I mean, it sounds like Spanish.
Yeah. Colonia. I put an L.
Dignidad?
Yeah, Colonia Dignidad has everything. The N words,
What?
not that one. The 4-letter one.
Okay.
CIA, the bullet that killed JFK, Pentecostal cults. There's a great book, La Secta Perfecta.
Oh, it's a movie. Colonia Dignidad Película. I will have to look into this as well.
Yeah, I figured saying the Mustache Man's party was probably not the best move, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steel Rain SG for $20, thank you, says, I have a theory that at the Miss Culture...
Oh, it was a post-World War II German colony in Chile.
Oh, that.
Yeah. All right, next.
Yep. Steel Rain SG says, I have a theory that at the Miss Culture came from tin trade from Ireland to SA that got them off arsenic tin. I gotta reread this again. I have a theory that at the Miss Culture, Mississippian culture, came from tin trade from Ireland.
The Mississippian culture came from tin trade with Ireland.
Yep, to South America that got them off arsenic tin. This would be a better explanation than Matic.
Mississippians be North America though.
Maybe it was like a halfway point, like a mid-stop port.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it would be a tough sell for me.
Yeah.
I'll consider it when I look into Mississippian stuff. I'll see if if the geology leads us anywhere.
And then that is the last one from prior to 825.
How many are there from after 825?
A significant number.
How do you guys do this?
About, I'm trying to load. About 2/3 more. Ish.
I mean, I told Andrew I'd call him at 10:30.
So you want to keep going?
We can if you want. Feel bad that people sent stuff.
Fair.
Are there any that are at least like $20?
I haven't gotten a chance to look. I'll scroll real quick.
See if anybody spent big money, then we should at the very least answer those.
Andrew Tabery for $10 said, speaking of the Badlands, have you ever been to North Dakota? Not much in the east, but the western part is beautiful. Definitely worth a visit if you can.
We've been in South Dakota. We saw a lot of signs for wall drug.
Yeah, I have been to North Dakota, but just driving through it.
Amanda goes, no, please come home. Why do you not love me?
No. Oh, rough. I think Kat would be saying the same thing if she were at home, so.
Yeah, all right. Well, we did say before 825, everybody who did send them after that, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Unfortunately, like I said, it's already, we've been at this for over 2 hours now. So I feel bad, though. I just feel bad when people send money and we don't get to them.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing that's like a ton of cash, I don't feel as bad. If it's
there are two $20 ones.
Let's read the $20 ones, and
I have not gotten to the bottom, so I don't know if these are the last ones. Wyatt Gilliam said, not sure which video it was, but it was explained that the Voynich manuscript was partially decoded and proof of doctors keeping trade secrets. Not entirely sure it's true, but interesting to think about for code history.
Yeah, I will see if I can find that.
And then Jack Everfree says, random knowledge, the Chickasaw Nation does not reveal when and where burial and archaeological sites are found to prevent grade robbing.
Interesting.
Plus, lower cost per acre. Also, stem cells can be made from regular human cells now.
They can?
Yeah, I mean, I know a few years ago they were...
had to do embryonic for them to work.
At least like 2 or 3 years ago, they were saving like... you know the thing that David had to go collect?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were getting them from that.
Oh.
Yeah, from like when an infant was born or whatever, and they were doing that. They were able to get them from that.
Actually, a really good idea.
Yeah. That was a few years ago, so I don't know if we're still at that level or if we can just kind of like create them on their own now,
Yeah.
but...
I'd be very interested to see where stem cell research actually is. I'll see if I can dig up a video on it and watch it. All right, anything else?
Let me scroll... For $10, Eric Brown said, how about those rats that have human brain cells implanted in them and are starting to show human-like traits?
Hate that. Don't like that. Don't like chimeras. Let's not do that. That's too close to playing God.
To be fair, we do use rats for testing because they are extremely close.
I understand like certain aspects of it.
Yeah.
I don't like. I keep it with the rats. That is the absolute most that it should go for. I don't like other things.
Yeah. Spicy Burrito for $10 says, any interest in covering the Delphi murders? Feels like it goes way deeper than the person currently convicted. Also, love you guys.
Delphi, is that?
Yeah, DELPHI.
Delphi. I've heard that term before.
It has come up on the show before.
Yeah. All right.
And then one other $10 one is, there's a missing 411 case from Indiana. Don't know if y'all have covered the case, but Blau, Miller, and Brule went missing in Indiana Dunes State Park and were never seen again.
Blau, Miller, and what?
Brule, B-R-U-L-E. Blau is B-L-A-U.
Not getting anything. What? Blau, Miller, and Brule?
Yes.
Are those in first names?
No idea.
Was it? How's Blau spelled?
B-L-A-U.
Okay.
And then Miller is just Miller. And then Brule is B-R-U-L-E.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything aside from... Yeah, I'm not finding anything.
Are you keywording Indiana?
Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. All right. I've got it. Cool.
Sweet.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Everything else is like $2.
To those of you who sent in $2 and $5 super chats after 8:25 p.m., we really appreciate you very much. Thank you. I'm sorry that we weren't able to get to them, but we have been doing this for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
We have.
And I have to still do more work tonight. I have to make a phone call. I have to pay attention to my fiance, and I also have to watch approximately 2 hours of Ghost Adventures. So,
Work never stops at the lodge.
work. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will be back on Monday. I will not be streaming on my channel this Friday. Flaw probably will be, Flaw the God on YouTube. So check him out. He streams with me a lot. If you were planning on watching me and you still want something to go with the same crew of people, he is usually a good person to look at. Yeah. And we have a video that has to do with the crawlers from the Descent and the concept of divergent humanoids.
Yep. He's in it. I'm in it. Roanoke's in it.
Yeah. And it starts with a reading of my favorite creepypasta. So that's how that worked. All right. Bye, guys.
Yeah.